Think about how much you would want the things you have if you didn't have them. This is a idea that Marcus Aurelius gives us in Meditations, and I've heard it put in other terms before, but I think it's such an important value to have because it's so easy to get used to what you have and no longer be grateful for it. With dopamine, how it works is as you go up in not pleasure, but it's as you go up in things, like say you go on a trip and you have a really good time, your dopamine spikes, and then that's your new baseline. So once you come home, it's going to crash. And that's why when you come home from a trip, a lot of the times you know you're you don't feel horrible, but you don't feel as good as you normally do when you're home because your dopamine was just up a bunch. So you had a new baseline for a little bit, and then it dropped back down. Now you're at what you used to be, but it's now below your baseline. So it makes you, not as motivated, and makes you as, not as much energy to want to do things. And that's the same thing that happens with the things we have. A gratitude practice that's kind of like this that I like to practice is think like what you have today. Like imagine if all you had today was what you were grateful for yesterday. So all you have today is, say you were grateful for your sight, then you have your sight today. Say you were grateful for walking, then you have your legs. Say you were grateful for, your thumbs and being a human being, then you have that stuff today. But if you weren't grateful for that yesterday, then you don't have that stuff today. You don't have your legs, you don't have your hands, you don't have your thumbs, and that's just with your body. But think about all the people in your life. If you weren't grateful for your mom and your dad yesterday, imagine if they weren't here today, how much you would long for them. Or if you weren't grateful for your pets, or if you weren't grateful for your friends, think about how much you would long for them. But while you have them, you're not grateful for them. And this is the point Marcus Aurelius tries to get across is, you could long for something for so long, and then you get it, and then you're grateful for it for a little bit, and then it becomes normal. You get complacent in your gratitude, and it's like you expect it now. You expect every day to wake up, but life is not guaranteed. You might not wake up, but you expect it because it's something that's happened for however old you are in days, that many days. It's happened every day, so you're expecting it, but there is people who don't wake up for no good reason sometimes. And if it's happened to other humans, then it's possible to happen to you. And it's ignorant to not prepare for things like this. So, that's something I think everyone needs to be aware of, and how much you would yearn and want something that you have if you didn't have it. Say if you say you don't love your job that much, but think about how much you might want a job if you didn't have a job. Because there are some people in the world who want jobs and they just can't get one, or for whatever reason they don't have a job. And you should be grateful for your job, even if you don't love it, which I don't love my job, but I try to be grateful for it because I know if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't feel too good about myself. I would feel like I'm wasting time. I'm, you know, a burden to society. I'm not working, I'm not improving, I'm not striving towards anything. So I remind myself, I have a job and I might not love it, but how would I feel if I didn't have a job? I probably wouldn't feel too good. So I should be grateful that I do have a job. So when I wake up tomorrow, I still have a job. But that's only if you're using the gratitude practice, like I was saying earlier. But you know what I mean. You know, there's so many things that we take for granted, and we don't expect to just be gone one day. We expect them because they've been there, and we think that we have a choice in them. It could also be like this in like a relationship. You're not putting in the work that needs to be put in to maintain a relationship, and that relationship fizzles out, and you wonder why. It's because you weren't doing the necessary things to maintain that, because you weren't grateful for it. So you need to be grateful for things. And once you realize you're getting complacent in them, you need to realize how you would feel if you didn't have that. How you would feel if you didn't have that friend, that loved one, that pet, your legs, your arms, your sight, your smell, all these things. And they're all things you can be grateful for every single minute. You know, a healthy person sadly wants so many things, but a sick person wants one thing. They just want to get better. You know, so it's sad that you only time we're able to narrow down our wants is when we have sickness, or we have an obstacle, or we have something that's impeding us. When everything's going good, we can't just be grateful for what we have. We have to have so much ambition, and I've been trying to deal with a fine level of ambition in my life, but it's very hard, and it's very challenging to have a balance in wanting to be productive and realize your purpose, follow your dreams, etc., but also not be tied to ambition and feel like you need to work 14 hours a day 7 days a week, or you're not being productive and you're not going to succeed, because you aren't your actions. You are you. You don't need, if like you lose your memory, and before you lost your memory you were a CEO of some company. You lose your memory, when you get back conscious or whatever it may be, you don't even know you're a CEO. So that can't be your identity, because you can lose it so easily. You are just you. Your ego is a CEO of a major company, but you are not. You are just you. So just remember, be grateful for the things that you have, and remind yourself how much you would yearn for something that you have if you didn't have it, and how much in the past you've yearned for something that you have, and now that you have it, you aren't grateful for it, and sometimes you feel like it's a burden.